I wanted to take a second and talk to you about dialectical journals. It seems that there have been a few questions, so I thought I'd just do a little overview for you guys. We're going to be doing these throughout the whole semester, so hopefully this will help you. First of all, let me just tell you not to stress, okay? Dialectical journals are basically just your thoughts on whatever it is you're reading. So you don't have to stress about being right or wrong or picking the right thing. This is just, hey, here's what I thought about some stuff that I read. So what's the purpose of these dialectical journals? The idea of something that's dialectical is that you're having a dialogue. That's where that word comes from. So it's your conversation with the text, essentially. So what this does, as opposed to like a multiple choice quiz or where you're just answering a short answer question, it allows for more genuine interaction with the text. It lets you focus on the aspects of the text that you actually care about, that you feel is interesting and important. And that prompts deeper thought, which is really what I want to get at. Also, a really cool side effect, I guess, of this is it gives me insight into your thinking and also how well you're understanding the text. And bonus, you get to use them on your tests every unit. So it serves as a help for that, which is awesome. All right, so that's the purpose of dialectical journals. Not about being right or wrong, guys. It's just, what are your thoughts? What are your genuine, real thoughts and opinions on whatever it is we're reading? Okay, so what's the process? A dialectical journal is very simple. Basically, it's a T-chart, a good old-fashioned T-chart, where you put a quotation that you pick from your reading on the left side, and then you put your thoughts about that quotation beside it on the right side. The end. What quotation you pick is totally up to you. Um, there's not a length requirement, but you don't want them to be too long, just because then you would have to write a whole lot about it, to be able to cover it. So, a sentence or two, even a couple of words would work if you felt like those specific words are the things that stand out for you and that you want to talk about. On your thoughts side, you can talk about anything. I agree with it, and here's why. I disagree, here's why. I find this really interesting that he was thinking about this. Or, you know what? Whenever he uses that word, I just am, impressed, and it makes me think of all of these other things. Or, hey, this phrasing reminds me of this other thing that we read. Or it connects to this world event. Really, your options are limitless. And in one of those help documents I'll show you in a second, I've given you some suggestions, but that's all they are. They're just suggestions. The thought side, that gets to be yours, guys. It's really whatever you're thinking about it. Okay, so you don't have to use this, but I have created a template for you. You're welcome to do it however you want in that T-chart fashion. But if you would like a template, then this is linked in all of those lesson mods. I'll put this link also in the description of the video, so you'll have it here too. So you can choose to use this or not. It's totally up to you. But if you do, you see basically this table has the T-chart form with the line down the center and then that across. My writing's really bad. So what you would do is type your quotation in here, and these cells will get bigger as you type, and then your response would go right beside it. I made this one template for any dialectical journal, so just because there are, say, 10 lines doesn't mean you have to use all 10. You would use however many are required in that particular journal for that assignment. And if you need more, you just go to the last row and hit tab, and then it'll add more rows for you. But what's nice is I do already have your heading set up here the way you're supposed to do it. You would just need to replace your name with your name and put in the correct date. And then also a reminder here of how you're titling your dialectical journal with the title of the work, and then you put the word by, and then the name of the author, and then whatever genre it is, short story, fiction, poetry, essay, blog, memoir, etc. Okay? So feel free to use that template. Note that in order to use it, you are going to have to click File and make a copy, save it to your drive, and use it from there. Otherwise, you can't edit it. If you need some more help and some more clarification, then the full instructions, which probably are a little overwhelming because it gives you lots of information, are also linked in the instruction sheet in your lesson modifications. I will put this link in the video description as well. But this really takes you through, the specific steps of creating the dialectical journal, and then it gives you an example, and then it gives you some suggestions for responses. There are some just formatting things that you do need to note when you turn this in. Make sure you have that heading that we looked at. Make sure that you title your dialectical journals. Make sure that every quotation also has a parenthetical citation. And that is very simply, after the quotation, you put parentheses, the last name of the author, and then page number if you have it. If you don't, you leave that off. Close your parentheses, put your period. So that would look like this. If I was reading something by, say, J. Stark, then after the quotation, I would put parentheses, Stark, and then in this case, it's page 3. Notice I don't actually put the letters PG. I don't put a comma between them. That's MLA formatting rules right there. The other formatting reminder, remember your responses have to be at least 50 words. That's a few sentences. But what you will need to do is put your word count after each response in parentheses, and that's just to help me when I'm grading. So make sure after each response you put your word count. All right, guys, the last little bit is how to turn these in. You will have a Google form that's linked. A lot of times it's connected to the quiz for whatever the reading is. And very simply, you're going to log on to that. You can do one of two things. You can, if you used a Google Doc, then you can just link it here. Or even if you didn't, you could upload whatever you typed it in or created it in into your Google Drive and still share it with me this way. That's probably my preferred method to have that link. It's a little bit easier. But you can also do a direct upload. So if you did it in like a Word doc or it's a PDF or something, you can click Add File and send it in to me that way. And then you hit Submit. If you did put it in your Google Drive, if you put it in that English folder and you set that up correctly, it should automatically be shared with me. But it's probably a good idea to go ahead and click Share and then make sure anyone with the link can view is selected. That way I'll for sure have access to be able to open it. Okay, guys, last little bit, the dialectic journals are going to be a quiz grade for you. They're 100 points, so where a C-note document is the only other type of quiz grade you'll have, not the only other, but another type of quiz grade you'll have, it's worth 10 points. Your dialectic journal is going to be worth 100 points, and your normal quizzes are going to be worth about the same too. So going in as a quiz grade for you. And I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Don't let this stress you out, guys. It's really just very open. It's not going to be a hard grade. It's going to be an easy grade for you as long as you follow those requirements. I just want to see you interacting with the text and see what you're thinking about what you're reading. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have an awesome year. Bye.